Jeff Van Gundy is with us now, the famous Knicks coach. Haven't caught up with him in a long time. Looking forward to it. The second best Van Gundy broadcasting basketball games anywhere in the country. Look at him. The picture of joy. Look at his face. Just drinking in the playoffs. It's the 23-year anniversary, Jeff. I don't know if you know this, of the team plane blowing over your Honda Civic and making it crash into Allen Houston's Mercedes. Can you take me through what happened there?
Happy anniversary.
Welcome to the show, by the way.
Yeah, I appreciate it. That's truly a tragic memory. I love that car. We came back from Miami. I think we were down 3-2. I think we lost to Miami, and you're taking that long flight and you're in misery about losing one game away from elimination. And we had a backup pilot doing our flight that night. So we fly into this little airport near the practice facility in White Plains, New York. And instead of just like coming in and parking on the tarmac and getting out and seeing our car, he did a circle in front of the cars and then pulled into the spot. My spot was always like in the front row, and because I was always like one of the first ones off. And usually when it was colder, the video coordinator would have been sitting in the car ready to give me stuff. So as the pilot circled, the exhaust blew my car up into the air like 50 feet instead. Thankfully, he wasn't in the car. He was outside. Totaled my car, Allen Houston's car, and 3 other cars. So that was a bad night for the Knicks right there.
Did you see it happen, or you didn't actually see it happen?
No, I was so mad because when the guy circled in front, I could see the car. And then when he pulled it in and I got off, my car's not there. I got off and I said, like, this is not the night to mess with me. Where's the car? And the video coordinator was a little like apprehensive, and he like pointed in the opposite direction, like 50 feet. And he goes, it's over there, And it was smashed like an accordion, like truly. It was, I mean, think about it, like the near tragedy if he had been in the car or gotten hit by one of the, I mean, it's just crazy.
I've got a number of basketball questions for you. Did you hear it, though? Did you hear the Honda Civic? Did you hear your dreams crashing in the distance?
No, I did not. And I slept in the office that night, commiserating as much about my lost Honda as the game.
Why was the Knicks coach driving a Honda Civic?
It's a great car. It never breaks down. I mean, I'm not a car guy, but I should know more about it. But I'd had a Toyota before that, and my engine gave me trouble. I was heading over to see Stan when he was coaching at Fordham, and I was at Rutgers, and my car kept like breaking down, and then it would once it cooled down, it would start back up. So a friend of mine said, "Well, have you changed the oil lately?" And I'd had the car for about 3 or 4 years. I said, "Yeah, I put oil in every once in a while." He goes, "No, I didn't say put it in. I said, did you change it?" And I had never changed the oil. I didn't even know what he was talking about. So that's why I had earned the Honda Civic. That's all I could handle.
Do you have a greater feeling in coaching than Allen Houston making that shot as an 8 seed against the Heat?
Well, I get criticized within my own family for saying this, but the best 5 minutes in life are the first 5 minutes after a great road win. And that obviously was like a great shot by Allen and a great road win. And there's nothing better than that. That feeling right there. And then you got my kids always saying, "Not the birth of me. That's not better." And I'm like, no. No, actually, the first 5 minutes of that road win is a little bit better. Yeah.
Were you surprised that Thibodeau did not attack Jimmy Butler's ankle in the last 5 minutes of that game?
Well, I saw it differently. I thought they were playing their normal offense. I thought the Heat were great. I don't think Butler's going to be taken advantage of. Like, I don't think the Knicks have a player that can take advantage of Butler, hobbled or not hobbled. I think Butler's clearly, and obviously to Miami fans, not just a great player, but a great playoff competitor. And so the thing I think they have right now over both Milwaukee and in game one is when they put Butler and Lowry out there, and I would include Love in this and Adebayo, they just have great competitors, like truly great competitors and tough-minded, maybe a little bit on the downside, but really, really tough guys.
Who's better?
Well, we're about to find out. I think, clearly Miami looked pretty dominant in that second half, and Butler, and Lowry, I thought were, tremendous. For the Knicks to have a chance, I would think Brunson would have to play a lot better, and Randall would have to be available.
Can you tell me how surprised you were to hear Giannis Antetokounmpo say that wasn't a failure?
Well, I love the back and forth on it because I'm sort of caught in between. Like, I love Antetokounmpo, and I love like how he was speaking, and I think I love that he didn't give in to what he was supposed to say or what people thought he should say. He spoke from the heart, and he did it, I think, very eloquently. I think there's a difference between failure and disappointment. I think clearly it was a disappointing result. The thing I would have rather him talk about, or equally talk about, they got him into the whole adjustment game, what they should have done different. And when you're 10 for 23 from the free throw line, I think you should just say, hey, I need to make more free throws. If I made more free throws, we win the game and we play in game 6. And I found it, but I love the other side too. Like I've heard a couple other people, like after losses, then say, oh, this is only steps towards success, mocking that answer. So I understand both thought processes. I just love Giannis and how he speaks from the heart, and he doesn't go down the road of cliches where he says what's expected of him.
Oh, but Jeff, I mean, not only missing 13 free throws, fouling a three-point shooter on a critical play, going 3 for 12 in the fourth quarter and overtime. If you can't call that a failure, you can't call anything in the history of NBA playoff basketball failure.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just how you're going to grade yourself. And, one thing that Thibodeau always says, and I really do, I think it goes to what Giannis's mentality on this is that when you put everything you have into something, you learn to live with whatever the result comes, whether it's a good result or a bad result. And I think when you watch Giannis play, he does put everything into it. And so I think that's where he comes to the, like Thibodeau was saying, like when you put everything in, you're not going to say it's a failure because you did what you could.
But Jeff, it's professional. It's professional sports, though, Jeff. It's not trying. It's professional sports. No. They're paid to win. They're paid to have a game 7 at home so they could sell concessions. Like what happened to Giannis is we really like him, and so Barkley and Steve Kerr defended him, and a bunch of people did. But if Kevin Durant's toe hadn't been on that line, I think the reaction would have been a lot different, and we'd be wondering whether Giannis could ever win in the playoffs.
That's an interesting take, but as a player, I don't think you can get into professional sports. You can only do what you can do, and if he did put everything into it, and I also find this very interesting too, that we act like his injury or Middleton's injury the year before had nothing to do with it. This whole like next man up thing is ludicrous. Some teams get better with an injury. Maybe Miami did with Hero's injury. Maybe they found a rotation that, would work. Or maybe they're going to miss Hero later on in the playoffs. I don't know. But and also this whole thing with Budenholzer, like, should they make a change? Are you kidding me? Like, I was just looking at it. Coach Riley and Coach Popovich, I think two of the icons in coaching, obviously, great coaches. They lost, I think, 8 times each to a higher seed in their career. So I think the overreaction is sometimes does a disservice to like real discourse about what needs to improve. And I do think likability, going to what you were saying about Giannis, likability has everything to do with media coverage, unfortunately.
Jeff, does Miami win that series, do you think, even if Giannis plays the whole way?
We've got less than 20 seconds.
I would say it would have gone deeper, but Butler was dominant. He was just great. And the way they shot it, I don't see – I thought Miami was the better team.
Jeff, good seeing you again, sir. Sorry about the Honda Civic.
All right. Take care. Mourn it for me. All right.